It's strange how silence can say more than a scream. I sat in our kitchen, staring at the tiny velvet box in my hand, wondering how I got here. I was going to ask her to marry me. I thought we had something real. Turns out I was just the background character in her adventure movie. My name's Jake. I'm 29, a software developer living in a city where things move fast, but I've always preferred moving slow and steady. I thought that's what love was supposed to be. Build something strong. Make a future. I met Emily 3 years ago. Let's call her Emily because, honestly, I don't want to give her real name any power here. She was charismatic, beautiful, spontaneous, the kind of woman who made even a grocery run feel like a scene in a rom-com. We moved in together a year and a half in. I was in deep. So deep that when I started to notice the cracks, I convinced myself they were just shadows. The first real sign was her phone. She used to leave it lying around like it was nothing. But for the last few months, it was always face down. Always locked. She laughed a little too loud at texts she wouldn't let me see. There were nights she'd come home late from girls' nights with her hair tousled in that way I knew wasn't from dancing. But love makes you dumb, right? I started noticing other things. Her perfume would smell different, like cologne and sweat mixed in. She suddenly had a new interest in rooftop bars and jazz lounges, places I knew she'd never go with her friends. One night, curiosity got the better of me. I snooped. I know. You're not supposed to. But something in my gut told me I had to. What I found shattered everything. Not one, but two guys. Tom and Alex. Both had long text threads. Both had photos. Kisses. Dates. Hotel bookings. Tom called her firecracker. Alex called her babe. One message from her to Alex read: Jake is sweet but boring. You're the one that makes my heart race. I swear, I sat there with her phone in my hands for 10 minutes, barely blinking. My chest felt tight. I wanted to throw up. Instead, I took screenshots of everything and emailed them to myself. Not because I wanted revenge. I just needed proof. Something real. Something to validate the pain I knew was about to come. The confrontation wasn't loud. It was worse. I waited until we were both home. I placed her phone on the table. Asked her to unlock it. She hesitated, too long. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just said, Emily, I know about Tom. And Alex. She froze. Her mouth opened, then shut. Then came the tears. Not the kind you cry when you're sorry. The kind you cry when you realize the game is up. She didn't deny it. She tried to twist it. I didn't mean to fall for them. I was just missing something. You're always working. You're just so predictable. Predictable. Like that's a crime. The worst part wasn't the cheating. It was what came next. I told her I needed space. I left the apartment that night and stayed with a friend. Over the next few days, she started blowing up my phone. Apologies. Promises. She even tried the "it didn't mean anything" line. But what really messed me up was when she got my mother involved. My mom has always been close with Emily. They'd go shopping together, call each other even more than I called her. And now she was calling me crying, on Emily's behalf. Jake, she made a mistake. Everyone deserves a second chance. She loves you. I asked her, did she tell you it wasn't just one guy, but two? Silence. Then came the real gut punch. She said you're being dramatic. That you're letting your pride ruin something beautiful. My own mom. Taking her side. I found out later Emily had visited my parents without telling me. Sat with them. Cried. Made herself the victim. Said I was emotionally cold and distant. My dad was there too. He didn't say much. He never does. But when I asked him directly what he thought, he just said, "It's complicated, son." That's all he ever says when someone's being mistreated, especially if the person doing the mistreating is a woman. He's always been neutral, but somehow that neutrality always ends up being support for the wrong person. I was done. I packed my things from the apartment while she wasn't there. I left the key on the counter with a note that read, "You didn't just break my heart. You broke the trust of a man who was going to spend his life with you. I hope the excitement was worth it." I went no contact. Blocked her number. Moved to a different part of the city. Got a new job. Even changed gyms. But the texts kept coming. From her, from my mom, from mutual friends. She's changed. She's hurting. Don't throw it all away. No one ever asked if I was hurting. If I was okay. If maybe, just maybe, I was doing the only healthy thing I could by walking away. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you thought you'd build a life with, you're not alone. Hit that like and subscribe, more real stories are coming your way. Here's the twist. A month later, I found out she knew about the ring. One of our mutual friends told me Emily had seen the proposal box in my drawer weeks before the confrontation. She panicked. Tried to phase out the other guys but couldn't bring herself to stop. She was going to try to clean things up, they said. She thought if you never found out, she could start fresh with you. Start fresh. After juggling 2 other guys while living with me. That wasn't starting fresh. That was damage control. I cut off everyone. Mom. Dad. Our mutuals. Anyone who pressured me to forgive and forget. I wasn't bitter, I just couldn't keep bleeding from wounds everyone kept reopening. I didn't want revenge, I wanted peace. I started hiking. Got into photography. Met new people who didn't know my past, and more importantly, didn't try to tell me how to feel about it. I stopped checking her socials. I never responded to her emails. The last one she sent just said, "I know I ruined everything. I just didn't think you'd actually leave." That's the thing about people like her. They lie because they think they'll never get caught. They cheat because they think you'll never leave. They manipulate because they think your love will make you too weak to stand up. But I did. And I never looked back. Now? I'm seeing someone new. Slowly. Carefully. She knows I've been through hell, and she's patient. We talk. We don't play games. I keep the velvet box tucked away, not because I want to use it again right now, but to remind myself what I was willing to give someone who didn't deserve it. It reminds me of my capacity to love. And how much more carefully I'll use it next time. This is the story of how I almost proposed to a woman living a double life, and how walking away, even from my own family, was the first time I truly chose myself. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that expose the truths we all try to hide.